Princess Rescue is a homebrew title for the Atari 2600 released by Atari Age in July of 2013. The game is a tribute to the original Super Mario Bros. For the 8-bit Nintendo. As I didn't really grow up with an Atari 2600, I'm not sure where the bar is for quality games on the system. With that said, this has to be near the top in terms of graphics and sheer ambition. Princess Rescue sticks to the formula set out in Super Mario Bros. You traverse the Mushroom Kingdom, breaking bricks with your head, jumping on Goombas and Koopas, and collecting power-ups to assist the portly plumber on his quest to rescue the princess. The staples for the NES game are all here and accounted for. The mushroom turns Mario into Super Mario, the Fire Flower lets him shoot fireballs, and the Starman grants temporary invincibility, and 1-up mushrooms give an extra life. The fourth stage on each world takes you through Bowser's castle, with Bowser Jr. waiting for you at the end. An excellent touch is that Princess Rescue supports 2-button play with a Sega Genesis controller. Though the buttons are reversed compared to the NES mapping, you can jump with one button while the second button is used for running. This is vastly preferred to the single button setup with an Atari joystick. The graphics in Princess Rescue are outstanding. The Mario sprite in particular is extremely detailed, and the enemy sprites aren't far behind. While the world itself consists mostly of large horizontal bars due to hardware limitations, the colors are expertly chosen, and it's pretty obvious what everything is supposed to be. What's even more impressive is the sound. 2 music tracks from the NES original make an appearance, and when firing the game up for the first time, you can't help but smile as you listen to the primitive Atari 2600 render that classic tune. Throughout all of the stages are references to other Mario games as well, and it's fun to make your way through Princess Rescue to see everything the developer was able to cram into a tiny 2600 cartridge. And that's probably the biggest appeal to the game. It certainly can't match the quality of a Nintendo title, but as an Atari game, it's truly outstanding. I've never played a 2600 game with a scale this grand. However, as good as the game looks and sounds, the controls are far from perfect. Princess Rescue fails miserably at capturing the perfect momentum of a side-scrolling Mario game. I'm not sure if this is a limitation of the platform or not, but you will experience a lot of cheap deaths due solely to the controls. There's very little sense of momentum, especially while jumping. Speaking of cheap deaths, you'll probably experience a lot of them due to the way enemies spawn as well. The spiny eggs in particular are a giant pain, always spawning as you jump to a new platform. Despite the problems with the controls and enemies, I still found Princess Rescue to be incredibly charming. There's something inherently fun about controlling Mario on the Atari 2600. Before wrapping up, I wanted to briefly touch on the history of Princess Rescue. AtariAge.com released Princess Rescue in July of 2013 on their web store. A few weeks later, on August 21st, the popular gaming site IGN put a video up on YouTube covering the game, putting this little homebrew into the mainstream spotlight. Then, on September 10th, Princess Rescue disappeared from the Atari Age store. The next day, it was hinted that a cease and desist was received, preventing the game from being sold any longer. For a brief 2-month period, you could buy this game for $30. With the game's production run ending prematurely, the game commands a significant premium on auction sites like eBay. I suspect that the price will continue to rise as the years go by. Overall, Princess Rescue is a technical marvel that really seems to showcase what is possible on the platform. The graphics and music are outstanding and the game is a lot of fun to play. While the controls are somewhat lacking, this is still a real gem and I highly recommend it.